What if I told you that some of the most fascinating games ever played have been hidden in the shadows of history for thousands of years? Picture this: ancient people sitting around a fire, laughing, competing, and bonding over games that were more than just entertainment. They were lessons in strategy, tools for education, and even gateways to the afterlife. Today, we're diving deep into the past to uncover 30 forgotten games from cultures across the globe, each with its own unique story and purpose. From the royal courts of Mesopotamia to the bustling streets of ancient China, these games shaped societies, connected communities, and left behind mysteries that still intrigue us today. By the end of this video, you'll not only discover how our ancestors played, but also how these games reveal the creativity and ingenuity of ancient civilizations. So, are you ready to step back in time and explore the fascinating world of forgotten games? Let's get started. Now let's begin our journey with one of the oldest known board games in history, the royal game of Ur. This ancient game dates back to around 2600 BC in Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. The game was discovered by archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley in the 1920s during excavations of the Royal Cemetery of Ur, where it was buried alongside other treasures, suggesting its importance to the people of that time. The game board itself is a masterpiece made of wood and inlaid with shell, lapis lazuli, and red limestone, showcasing the craftsmanship of the era. Players would race their pieces across the board using tetrahedral dice to determine their moves, in a blend of strategy and chance that feels surprisingly modern. But this wasn't just a pastime, it was a reflection of Mesopotamian culture, where games often had religious and symbolic meanings. Interestingly, cuneiform tablets have been found that describe the rules of the game, allowing historians to reconstruct how it was played. The royal game of Ur was so popular that it spread across the ancient world, with variations appearing in places like Egypt and India. Its influence is undeniable, and many see it as a direct ancestor of modern board games, a testament to how our love for games has transcended time. So next time you roll the dice in a game of Monopoly or Risk, remember that the roots of your fun might stretch all the way back to the ancient city of Ur. Moving from the ancient city of Ur, we now travel to the banks of the Nile to discover another captivating game from antiquity, Senet. This ancient Egyptian pastime, which dates back to around 3100 BC, was much more than just a game. It was deeply intertwined with the beliefs and rituals surrounding the afterlife. The board itself, typically a grid of 3 rows and 10 squares, was often beautifully crafted from wood, faience, or even stone, and adorned with intricate symbols and hieroglyphs. Players would move their pieces along the board, aiming to reach the end while avoiding hazards, using throwing sticks or knucklebones to determine their moves. But Senet wasn't just about competition, it was a symbolic journey. Each square on the board was believed to represent a stage of the soul's journey through the afterlife, with the ultimate goal being rebirth and union with the sun god Ra. This spiritual significance is why Senet boards were frequently placed in tombs, ensuring the deceased could continue playing in the next life. Tomb paintings from ancient Egypt often depict pharaohs and nobles engrossed in the game, further emphasizing its importance in their culture. Interestingly, the rules of Senet were not explicitly recorded, leaving modern historians to piece together how it might have been played based on archaeological findings and artistic depictions. One fascinating anecdote involves the discovery of a Senet board in the tomb of Tutankhamun, beautifully preserved and a testament to the game's enduring legacy. Senet's blend of strategy and symbolism offers a unique glimpse into the beliefs and values of ancient Egyptian society, reminding us that games have always been more than mere entertainment. They're windows into the human experience. So next time you're caught in a strategic board game, think of those ancient Egyptians rolling the dice in the hopes of securing their place in eternity. Now, let's shift our focus across the ocean to the vibrant world of the Aztecs and their fascinating game of Patolli. Played long before the arrival of Europeans in the Americas, Patolli was a game of chance and strategy that held a special place in Aztec culture. The game was played on a cross-shaped board, often made of fabric or carved into the ground, with marked squares that players would navigate using beans as dice. The objective was to move your pieces along the board's path, capturing opponents' pieces and reaching the end before they did. But Patolli wasn't just a game for passing the time, it was deeply tied to Aztec spirituality and daily life. The board's design itself was symbolic, often representing the four cardinal directions and the cosmos, reflecting the Aztecs' connection to the universe and the gods. Interestingly, Patolli was also a form of gambling, with players wagering valuables like precious stones, clothing, or even their own freedom. It's said that the stakes could get so high that some players would bet everything they owned, leading to dramatic outcomes. Beyond its entertainment value, Patolli played a role in religious ceremonies, where it was believed to honor the god of games and luck, Mancala. This blend of chance, strategy, and spirituality made Patolli a game that was both thrilling and deeply meaningful. Its legacy offers us a glimpse into the Aztec worldview, where even a simple game could connect people to the divine and the cosmos. So, the next time you're rolling dice or moving pieces on a board, remember the Aztec players who saw their game as a way to honor the gods and test their fate. Moving northward to the frosty landscapes of Scandinavia, we find ourselves immersed in the world of the Vikings and their strategic masterpiece, Hnefatafl. Often called the King's Table, this game was a test of wit and skill, played on a checkered board with unequal sides. One player controlled the king and his defenders, aiming to guide the king to safety at the board's edges, while the other player commanded a larger force of attackers whose goal was to capture the king. The asymmetry of the game made it a thrilling challenge, as the small group of defenders had to outmaneuver a much larger opposing force, a dynamic that mirrored the Vikings' real-life raids and battles. Hnefatafl wasn't just a pastime, it was a reflection of Viking warfare tactics, emphasizing strategy, patience, and the ability to think several moves ahead. The game's popularity spread far beyond Scandinavia, with variations found in places like Ireland, Wales, and even as far as the Arctic Circle. It's fascinating to think of Viking warriors huddled around a board during long winter nights, honing their strategic skills for the battlefield. While chess eventually overshadowed Hnefatafl in Europe, this ancient game remains a testament to the Vikings' ingenuity and their love for a good mental challenge. So, whether you're a fan of strategy games or just curious about Viking culture, Hnefatafl offers a window into the minds of these legendary seafarers and their world of cunning and conquest. Now, let's journey further into the heart of Africa to uncover the rich traditions of Mancala and Wari. Now, let's venture into the vibrant traditions of Africa, where Mancala and Wari have been captivating players for centuries. These counting games, with their simple yet deeply strategic rules, have been a cornerstone of African culture passed down through generations. Mancala, often played on a wooden board with rows of hollows, involves moving seeds or stones from one pit to another, aiming to capture as many as possible. Wari, a specific variation of Mancala, follows similar principles but with unique regional twists. What's fascinating is how these games aren't just about winning, they're about learning. For children, Mancala and Wari serve as tools to develop math skills, teaching counting, strategy, and problem-solving in a playful yet profound way. But their impact goes beyond education. These games are deeply social, often played in communal spaces where families and neighbors gather to share stories, laughter, and friendly competition. Across Africa, from the deserts of the Sahara to the forests of Central Africa, variations of Mancala and Wari reflect the diversity of the continent. In East Africa, the game might be called bow, played on an intricately carved board, while in West Africa, it's known as ower, often accompanied by songs and rituals. What's remarkable is how these games have endured, adapting to modern times while preserving their cultural essence. Today, Mancala and Wari aren't just relics of the past, they're living traditions connecting people to their heritage and to each other. Whether you're sitting under the shade of a baobab tree in Mali or playing on a digital app halfway across the world, these games remind us of the timeless power of play to educate, unite, and inspire. With their simple elegance and profound impact, Mancala and Wari are a testament to Africa's rich gaming legacy. Now, let's travel to ancient Greece, where a game of strategy and intellect awaits us, Petteia. Moving from the lively traditions of Africa, we now step into the world of ancient Greece, where strategy and intellect took center stage. Meet Petteia, a game that's often considered one of the earliest ancestors of chess. Played on a grid, Petteia was a battle of wits, where players aimed to outmaneuver their opponents by capturing their pieces through careful planning and tactical moves. The rules were simple yet profound. Move your pieces horizontally or vertically, and capture your opponent's pieces by trapping them between two of your own. It was a game that required foresight, patience, and a keen understanding of strategy, making it a favorite among Greek philosophers and thinkers. In fact, Petteia even finds mention in the works of ancient scholars like Plato, who used it as a metaphor for life's challenges and the importance of strategic thinking. But Petteia's influence didn't stop in Greece. Its principles laid the groundwork for later European games, including those that would evolve into modern chess. From ancient Greece to medieval Europe, Petteia's legacy echoes through the centuries, reminding us that the art of strategy has been a timeless pursuit. Next, we'll journey to ancient China, where a mysterious game of chance and divination awaits us, Liubo. Now, let's turn our attention to the enigmatic world of ancient China, where we encounter Liubo, a game shrouded in mystery and steeped in ritual. Known for its elaborate board and the use of dice, Liubo was more than just a pastime. It was a gateway to the spiritual realm. The game's board was intricately designed, often featuring symbols and patterns believed to hold cosmic significance. Players would cast dice to determine their moves, navigating their pieces across the board in a dance of chance and strategy. But what truly set Liubo apart was its deep connection to divination. Many believed that the game's outcomes could reveal insights into the future or offer guidance from the heavens. This spiritual dimension made Liubo a favorite among nobles and scholars who saw it as a way to commune with the divine. Evidence of this game's importance can be found in ancient Chinese art, where it is frequently depicted in tomb paintings and carvings. These artistic representations often show figures engrossed in the game, surrounded by symbolic motifs that highlight its cultural and spiritual significance. While the exact rules of Liubo have been lost to time, its legacy endures as a fascinating glimpse into how ancient Chinese society intertwined play, art, and spirituality. From Greek strategy to Chinese mysticism, our journey through ancient games continues as we next explore a playful pastime that spans cultures and centuries, knucklebones. Moving from the spiritual realms of ancient China, let's now step into the playful world of ancient Greece and Rome with a game that's as simple as it is timeless, knucklebones. This game, played with the small bones of sheep or goats, was a favorite pastime among children and adults alike. The bones, known as astragoli, were tossed into the air and players would score points based on how they landed. Each side of the bone had a different value, and the challenge lay in mastering the toss to achieve the highest score. But knucklebones wasn't just about fun, it was also a tool for learning. Ancient educators used the game to teach children basic arithmetic, improving their counting skills and hand-eye coordination in a way that felt more like play than work. Over time, knucklebones spread across cultures, evolving into the game we know today as jacks. While modern jacks use small metal pieces and a rubber ball, the core concept remains strikingly similar. It's fascinating to think that the simple joy of tossing and catching has endured for centuries, connecting us to the children of ancient Greece and Rome who once played with bones in the same spirit of fun and learning. From divination to dice, our exploration of ancient games continues as we next uncover a Viking strategy game that mirrored the tactics of their legendary warriors. Now let's journey to the vibrant festivals of ancient Japan with a game that lit up the night both literally and figuratively, Toro. This lantern game was a staple of Japanese celebrations, where participants would craft or decorate paper lanterns before releasing them into the night sky or floating them on water. The rules were simple yet enchanting. Players would write wishes, prayers, or messages on the lanterns, believing that as they rose or drifted away, their hopes would be carried to the gods or ancestors. This act wasn't just about competition, it was deeply symbolic, representing the release of troubles and the embrace of new beginnings. Toro was more than a game, it was a communal experience that brought people together. Families, friends, and entire villages would gather to participate, sharing in the joy and spirituality of the moment. The sight of dozens of glowing lanterns illuminating the night created a sense of unity and shared purpose, reinforcing the bonds within the community. Even today, variations of Toro are still celebrated in festivals across Japan, a testament to its enduring cultural significance. From its humble beginnings as a festival game to its role as a symbol of hope and connection, Toro reminds us of the power of shared traditions to bring people closer. Next, we'll dive into the strategic world of Japanese board games, where skill and philosophy intertwine in fascinating ways. Moving from the luminous traditions of Toro, we now step into the world of strategy and intellect with two of Japan's most iconic board games, Go and Shogi. These games, which have been played for centuries, are not just pastimes but deeply ingrained in Japanese culture, reflecting the nation's values of patience, foresight, and precision. Let's begin with Go, a game that dates back over 2,500 years and is considered one of the oldest board games still played today. Played on a grid of 19 by 19 lines, Go is deceptively simple in its rules yet endlessly complex in its strategy. Players take turns placing black or white stones on the board, aiming to capture territory by surrounding their opponent's pieces. What makes Go so fascinating is its balance of simplicity and depth, a game that can be learned in minutes but takes a lifetime to master. It's no wonder that Go has been revered as a metaphor for life itself, teaching players the importance of balance, adaptability, and long-term thinking. Alongside Go, we have Shogi, often referred to as Japanese chess. Shogi's origins trace back to as early as the 10th century, evolving from earlier Indian and Chinese board games. Unlike Western chess, Shogi has a unique feature. Captured pieces can be reintroduced to the board, adding an extra layer of strategy and unpredictability. This dynamic element makes Shogi a game of constant adaptation, where players must think several moves ahead while staying flexible. Both Go and Shogi have held significant cultural importance in Japan, often associated with samurai and the elite, who saw these games as tools for developing strategic minds and disciplined thinking. Today, these games remain incredibly popular, not just in Japan but globally, with professional leagues, international tournaments, and even AI developments like AlphaGo keeping them in the spotlight. Their enduring appeal lies in their ability to challenge the mind while offering endless possibilities for exploration and mastery. Together, Go and Shogi stand as timeless examples of how games can transcend mere entertainment, becoming a reflection of culture, philosophy, and human ingenuity. Now, let's journey from the strategic landscapes of Japan to the vibrant heart of Mesoamerica, where we encounter one of the most fascinating and ritualistic games in history, the Mesoamerican bowl game. This wasn't just a sport, it was a profound cultural and religious phenomenon that stretched across ancient civilizations like the Maya, Aztec, and Olmec. Played on large eye-shaped courts, the game involved teams using their hips, elbows, or sometimes even paddles to keep a heavy rubber ball in play, aiming to pass it through stone rings mounted high on the walls. The rules were as intense as the game itself often. Losing the ball or missing a critical play could have dire consequences, sometimes even life or death. What set this game apart was its deep connection to mythology and religion. It was believed to symbolize the cosmic struggle between life and death, day and night, with the ball representing the sun or the moon. In some cases, the game was thought to ensure the sun's continued movement across the sky, making it a vital ritual for the survival of the world. The ball courts themselves were architectural marvels, often located at the heart of cities and adorned with intricate carvings depicting gods, players, and mythological scenes. These courts weren't just arenas, they were sacred spaces where the physical and spiritual worlds intertwined. The Mesoamerican ball game's influence extended beyond its time, leaving a lasting legacy in the form of these monumental courts and the stories that continue to captivate us today. It's a remarkable reminder of how games can transcend mere play, becoming a powerful expression of belief, identity, and the human desire to connect with the divine. Shifting our focus to the ancient subcontinent of India, we discover a game that laid the foundation for one of the world's most iconic strategy games, Chaturanga. Believed to have originated around the 6th century, Chaturanga is often regarded as the ancestor of modern chess. Played on an 8x8 grid, much like the chessboard we know today, it featured pieces representing the 4 divisions of the ancient Indian military: infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariots. Each piece moved in distinct ways, mirroring the roles they played in warfare. The objective was to capture the opponent's king, a concept that remains central to chess even now. Chaturanga's influence didn't stay within India's borders. As trade routes expanded, the game traveled across Asia, evolving into different versions like Shatranj in Persia, and eventually making its way to Europe, where it transformed into the chess we're familiar with. Beyond its gameplay, Chaturanga held cultural significance in ancient India. It was seen as a reflection of strategic thinking and intellectual prowess, often played by nobles and scholars. The game also drew parallels to Indian philosophy, with its pieces symbolizing the balance and order of the universe. Chaturanga's legacy is a testament to how a simple board game could transcend its origins, becoming a global phenomenon that continues to challenge and inspire players worldwide. Continuing our journey through ancient games, let's turn our attention to Ashtapadi, another fascinating creation from early India. Played on an 8x8 grid, Ashtapadi is believed to have been a precursor to several modern board games, including chess. Unlike Chaturanga, which focused on strategy and military simulation, Ashtapadi was primarily a race game where players moved pieces along the grid, aiming to reach a specific goal. The rules were relatively simple, involving dice rolls to determine movement, making it more accessible to a wider audience. But Ashtapadi was more than just a game of chance. It was deeply tied to Indian philosophical ideas, particularly the concept of karma and destiny, as the dice symbolized the unpredictability of life. The grid itself was often marked with special squares, some carrying rewards and others penalties, reflecting the ups and downs of one's journey. This interplay of luck and choice made Ashtapadi a metaphor for life's challenges and rewards. Over time, Ashtapadi's design and gameplay influenced other games, including those in the Mancala family and even early forms of backgammon. Its legacy lies in its ability to blend entertainment with profound cultural and philosophical themes, offering players not just a pastime but also a reflection on life's deeper truths. Now, let's step into the world of ancient Rome with a game that combined strategy and skill, Latrones. Often compared to modern checkers, Latrones was a highly tactical board game that required players to outmaneuver their opponents by capturing pieces in a grid-based battlefield. The game's name, which translates to the Game of Brigands, hints at its competitive and perhaps even ruthless nature. Players moved their pieces diagonally, much like in checkers, with the goal of capturing their opponent's pieces through strategic positioning. What made Latrone stand out was its emphasis on foresight and planning, as players had to anticipate their opponent's moves while protecting their own pieces. It's no surprise, then, that Latrones was particularly popular among Roman soldiers, who likely saw it as a way to sharpen their tactical minds during downtime. But the game wasn't just confined to military circles. It was also enjoyed by civilians across Roman society, from children learning strategy to adults seeking a mental challenge. Latrones not only provided entertainment but also reflected the Roman values of discipline and strategic thinking. Its influence can be traced to later European strategy games, cementing its place as a precursor to many of the board games we know today. Through Latrones, we catch a glimpse of how the Romans turned play into a reflection of their culture and mindset. Now, let's journey to the banks of the Nile to uncover a game that's as mysterious as it is ancient, Patolli. This intriguing Egyptian game is best known for its unique circular board, a design that sets it apart from the grid-based games we've explored so far. Players would move pieces across the board, aiming to reach the center while strategically blocking their opponent's progress. The rules, though not fully understood today, suggest a blend of strategy and chance, making it both challenging and engaging. But Patolli wasn't just a game for entertainment. It held deep connections to religious rituals and beliefs. The circular board is thought to symbolize the eternal journey of the sun god Ra, reflecting the Egyptians' fascination with cycles of life, death, and rebirth. This spiritual dimension made Patolli more than just a pastime. It was a way to connect with the divine and contemplate the mysteries of existence. Historically, the game's presence in tombs and temples underscores its importance in Egyptian culture, serving as both a fun activity and a sacred tool. Through Patolli, we see how the ancient Egyptians seamlessly wove play into their spiritual and cultural fabric, offering us a glimpse into their worldview. This game reminds us that even in play, the ancients found ways to honor their gods and explore life's deeper questions. Shifting our focus to another fascinating Egyptian board game, we arrive at Aztec, a game that held a special place in the hearts and tombs of ancient Egyptians. Unlike Patolli's circular design, Aztec was played on a rectangular board, often beautifully decorated with intricate patterns. The game involved moving pieces across the board, with players competing to outmaneuver each other in a test of skill and strategy. While the exact rules have been lost to time, historians believe that Aztec required careful planning and tactical thinking, making it both a mental challenge and a source of entertainment. But Aztec was more than just a game. It carried profound symbolic meaning. Often found in tombs alongside other burial goods, it was thought to accompany the deceased into the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that playing Aztec could help the departed navigate the challenges of the underworld, ensuring their safe passage to the realm of the gods. This connection to the afterlife highlights the Egyptians' belief in the power of play as a spiritual tool. Through Aztec, we see how the ancient Egyptians blurred the lines between the physical and the divine, using games as a way to prepare for the journey beyond life. This game serves as a reminder of their deep reverence for the mysteries of existence and their desire to honor the dead through meaningful rituals. With Aztec, we gain another glimpse into how play was woven into the very fabric of ancient Egyptian culture, bridging the gap between this world and the next. Now, let's turn our attention to another captivating Egyptian game, Mehen, a serpent-themed board game that stands out for its unique circular design. Unlike the rectangular boards of Aztec and Patolli, Mehen's board was shaped like a coiled snake, with the head at the center and the body spiraling outward. This distinctive layout wasn't just for show. It was deeply tied to Egyptian mythology. Mehen, which means coiled one in ancient Egyptian, was a protective deity depicted as a giant serpent, often associated with the sun god Ra. The game itself mirrored this mythological role, with players moving their pieces along the serpent's body, navigating from the tail to the head in a symbolic journey. While the exact rules of Mehen remain unclear, historians believe it involved strategy and perhaps even a race-like element, with players competing to reach the center first. What makes Mehen particularly intriguing is its connection to the afterlife. Like Aztec, it was often placed in tombs, suggesting it was more than just a pastime. The Egyptians may have believed that playing Mehen would ensure the deceased's protection and guidance in the underworld, much like the serpent god's role in safeguarding Ra during his nightly journey through the darkness. The game's design and symbolism highlight the Egyptians' ability to weave myth, spirituality, and play into a single, cohesive experience. Through Mehen, we see yet another example of how ancient Egyptian games transcended mere entertainment, serving as tools for spiritual preparation and cultural expression. This serpent-themed game offers us a fascinating glimpse into how the ancient Egyptians used play to connect with the divine and honor the mysteries of life and death. Now, let's journey to ancient Rome, where a game of chance and strategy captivated tavern-goers and soldiers alike. Duodecim Scriptor, the precursor to modern backgammon. Played on a rectangular board divided into 24 spaces, this game required players to move their pieces based on the roll of 3 dice. The goal was to navigate all your pieces across the board and off the edge before your opponent could do the same. While the rules might sound familiar to backgammon enthusiasts, what makes Duodecim Scriptor unique is its cultural context. This game wasn't just a way to pass the time, it was a social activity that brought people together. Taverns across the Roman Empire were filled with the clatter of dice and the laughter of players, making it a staple of everyday life. But Duodecim Scriptor was more than just entertainment, it was a reflection of Roman society. The game's strategic elements mirrored the tactical thinking prized in Roman military culture, while its reliance on chance echoed the Romans' belief in fate and fortune. Interestingly, some surviving game boards even feature inscriptions of witty proverbs or playful taunts, adding a layer of personal interaction to the game. Through Duodecim Scriptor, we catch a glimpse of how ancient Romans balanced skill and luck, camaraderie and competition in their leisure pursuits. This game not only connects us to an ancient pastime, but also reminds us that some forms of play, like the thrill of a dice roll, are timeless. Shifting our focus to the vibrant courts of ancient India, we encounter Patolli, a game that not only entertained but also held a place of prestige among royalty. Played on a cross-shaped cloth board with intricate designs, Patolli involves moving pieces around the board based on the throw of cowrie shells, which served as dice. The objective is to race all 4 of your pieces around the board and back to the center before your opponents can do the same. This simple yet strategic game was more than just a pastime. It was a symbol of status and leisure in royal households. Legend has it that the Mughal Emperor Akbar enjoyed playing Patolli so much that he had a life-sized version created in his courtyard, using human players as pieces. Beyond its royal associations, Patolli also had a profound cultural impact, influencing the development of modern games like Ludo, which retains its basic structure but simplifies the rules for wider accessibility. What makes Patolli fascinating is its blend of luck and strategy, as players must carefully plan their moves while adapting to the unpredictable outcomes of the cowrie shells. This game not only reflects the ingenuity of ancient Indian society, but also shows how a simple concept can evolve and endure across centuries. Through Patolli, we see how games can bridge the gap between tradition and modernity, connecting generations through shared play. As we continue our exploration, let's turn our attention to another game that captivated players with its simplicity and cultural significance. Now, stepping into the lively streets of Edo period Japan, we uncover Chohan, a dice game that became synonymous with gambling and entertainment. Played with 2 dice, the rules are straightforward yet thrilling. players bet on whether the combined dice roll will result in an even or odd number, with Cho representing even and Han standing for odd. This simplicity made it accessible to people from all walks of life, from street vendors to samurai, and it quickly became a favorite pastime in gambling dens and festival gatherings. The game's popularity even found its way into Edo period art, with woodblock prints often depicting scenes of heated Cho-Han matches, showcasing the intense emotions and camaraderie it inspired. Beyond its entertainment value, Cho-Han also offers a glimpse into the social dynamics of the time, reflecting the Japanese fascination with chance and risk. Its cultural impact extended into the realm of storytelling, where it frequently appeared in tales of cunning gamblers and dramatic fortune reversals. What makes Cho-Han particularly intriguing is how it captures the universal appeal of games that blend luck and anticipation, creating a shared experience that transcends social boundaries. As we move forward, let's explore another game that offers a unique window into the lives and traditions of ancient societies, revealing yet another layer of their creativity and ingenuity. Turning our attention to the rich traditions of Korea, we encounter Yotnori, a beloved board game that has been a centerpiece of Lunar New Year celebrations for centuries. Played with 4 wooden sticks and a cloth board divided into 29 spaces, Yotnori is a game of strategy and chance that brings families together during this festive time. The sticks, when tossed, determine how far players can move their markers, with each combination of flat and rounded sides representing different moves. This simple yet engaging mechanic makes it accessible to players of all ages, encouraging participation from grandparents to grandchildren. Beyond its entertainment value, Yotnori carries deep symbolic meaning. The board is often seen as a representation of the universe, with the movement of the markers symbolizing the journey of life and the pursuit of harmony. The game's emphasis on teamwork and cooperation reflects traditional Korean values, making it more than just a pastime but a cultural ritual that strengthens family bonds. During Lunar New Year gatherings, Yotnori serves as a joyful activity that fosters connection and shared memories, bridging generations and keeping ancient traditions alive. Its enduring popularity highlights the universal appeal of games that combine fun, strategy, and cultural significance, offering a glimpse into the heart of Korean heritage. As we continue our journey, let's uncover yet another ancient game that reveals the ingenuity and creativity of societies long past. Now, let's step into the world of ancient India, where we uncover Giant Chopar, a game that not only entertained but also imparted profound moral lessons. This board game, played on a cloth or parchment marked with a grid of squares, is widely regarded as the precursor to the modern-day snakes and ladders. The board is adorned with intricate illustrations of snakes and ladders, each symbolizing life's twists and turns. Players move their tokens across the board based on the roll of dice, climbing ladders to advance and sliding down snakes to face setbacks. This simple yet symbolic mechanic reflects the ups and downs of life, teaching players about the consequences of their actions and the unpredictability of fate. Beyond its gameplay, Giant Chopar carries deep ethical and spiritual significance. Each ladder represents virtues like honesty, perseverance, and kindness, while the snakes symbolize vices such as greed, anger, and arrogance. The game was originally designed as a tool for moral education, guiding players towards self-improvement and spiritual enlightenment. Its roots in Hindu philosophy emphasize the karmic cycle where one's deeds shape their destiny. Often played in royal courts and during religious gatherings, Giant Chopar served as a medium to convey timeless wisdom about leading a righteous life. Its enduring legacy lies in its ability to blend entertainment with enlightenment, offering a window into the values and beliefs of ancient Indian society. As we move forward, let's explore another game that reveals the creativity and ingenuity of civilizations long past. Shifting our focus to ancient Rome, we come across Tabula, a game that offers a fascinating glimpse into the leisure activities of Roman citizens. Tabula, often considered a direct ancestor of modern backgammon, was played on a board with 24 points divided into 4 quadrants. Players used dice to move their pieces, aiming to bear them off the board before their opponents. The game required both strategy and luck, making it a favorite among Romans of all social classes. Tabula was particularly popular in Roman taverns, where it served as a social pastime, bringing people together for friendly competition. Its appeal extended beyond mere entertainment, as it was also a tool for teaching strategic thinking and risk assessment. As the Roman Empire expanded, so did the influence of Tabula, spreading its gameplay mechanics across Europe. This game laid the foundation for many medieval board games, influencing their design and rules. Its legacy endures in the modern version of backgammon, proving that even ancient games can evolve and remain relevant across centuries. Now, let's continue our journey and uncover another hidden gem from the past. Moving forward in our exploration, we now turn to a fascinating family of games that has spanned continents and cultures, the Mancala family. These games, known collectively as Mancala, are perhaps some of the oldest and most widespread in human history. Played across Africa and the Middle East, Mancala games share a common principle but vary widely in their rules and designs. At their core, these games involve moving small stones, seeds, or beads around a board or a series of holes, with the goal of capturing as many pieces as possible. This simple yet strategic gameplay made Mancala a staple in many societies, serving not just as entertainment but also as a tool for teaching counting, strategy, and foresight. Each region developed its own unique version of the game, reflecting local customs and beliefs. For example, in East Africa, the game known as Bow is highly complex and competitive, often played by skilled adults, while in West Africa, simpler versions like Ower are popular among children and families. The cultural significance of Mancala games cannot be overstated. They were often used in ceremonies as a means of communication and even in resolving disputes. The enduring legacy of Mancala is a testament to its universal appeal. Today, these games continue to be played worldwide, connecting people across generations and cultures, and reminding us of the timeless joy of strategic play. Now let's journey back to the cradle of civilization, where we uncover the game of 20 squares, a fascinating relic from ancient Mesopotamia. Played on a rectangular board divided into 20 squares, this game was more than just a pastime. It was a window into the beliefs and practices of one of the world's earliest societies. The rules, though not entirely preserved, suggest a mix of strategy and chance. Players would move pieces across the board, likely rolling dice or casting lots to determine their moves. But what makes this game truly intriguing is its connection to divination. In Mesopotamia, games were often seen as a way to interpret the will of the gods or predict future events. The game of 20 squares, with its ritualistic undertones, might have been used as a tool for seeking divine guidance or understanding fate. Its discovery in royal tombs and temples further emphasizes its spiritual significance, showing that it was more than just a game for entertainment. Historically, the game of 20 squares offers us a glimpse into the daily lives and beliefs of the Mesopotamians. It reminds us that even in the ancient world, games were a way to connect with the unknown, blending play with purpose. As we piece together its story, we're left marveling at how this simple board game carried such profound meaning for the people who played it. Now, let's shift our focus to the heart of Mesoamerica, where the Maya ballgame takes center stage, a sport that was far more than a competitive pastime. Played on a large, stone-walled court, the game involved 2 teams attempting to propel a solid rubber ball through a stone hoop using only their hips, elbows, and knees. The rules were strict. Using hands or feet was prohibited, making it a physically demanding and highly strategic contest. But the Maya ballgame wasn't just about skill. It was deeply intertwined with religion and politics. For the Maya, the game symbolized the eternal struggle between life and death, light and darkness. It was often associated with rituals, including human sacrifice, where the outcome of the game could determine the fate of players or captives. Winning or losing carried immense weight, as it was believed to influence the favor of the gods and the balance of the cosmos. Beyond its spiritual significance, the game also served as a political tool. Rulers would organize matches to resolve disputes, forge alliances, or demonstrate their power and divine favor. The architectural legacy of the Maya ball game is equally remarkable. Across Mesoamerica, grand ball courts were constructed, some of which still stand today as testaments to the game's cultural importance. These courts were often adorned with intricate carvings and sculptures, depicting scenes of the game and its mythological connections. The Maya ball game offers us a window into a world where sport, spirituality, and politics were inseparable, revealing how ancient societies used games to navigate the complexities of their beliefs and power structures. Now, let's journey to the diverse and vibrant cultures of Africa, where we encounter the African stone game, a simple yet profound pastime that has been played for centuries. This game, often referred to by various names across the continent, involves players using stones and holes dug into the ground to strategize and outwit their opponents. The basic setup consists of a series of small pits arranged in rows, with a set number of stones placed in each pit. Players take turns picking up stones from one pit and distributing them one by one into the following pits, aiming to capture their opponent's stones or create advantageous positions. The rules can vary, but the essence of the game lies in its blend of strategy, foresight, and adaptability. What makes the African stone game particularly fascinating is its social role within communities. It wasn't just a game, it was a way for people to come together, share stories, and pass down traditions. Elders would often teach younger generations how to play, using the game as a tool to impart wisdom and life lessons. The game also served as a bonding activity during festivals, harvests, and other communal gatherings, fostering a sense of unity and cooperation. Across Africa, the game took on different forms and names, reflecting the unique customs and creativity of each culture. In some regions, the game was played with seeds or pebbles instead of stones, while in others, the number of pits and stones varied to create new challenges. These variations highlight the adaptability of the game and its ability to resonate with people across different societies. The African stone game is a testament to how ancient games could transcend mere entertainment, becoming a reflection of culture, community, and the human spirit's ingenuity. Shifting our focus to the Far East, we now arrive at the ancient Chinese game of Weiqi, more commonly known today as Go. This game, with roots stretching back over 2,500 years, is one of the oldest board games in history and continues to captivate players worldwide. At its core, Go is a deceptively simple game played on a grid, typically consisting of 19 by 19 lines, though smaller boards are sometimes used for beginners. Players take turns placing black and white stones on the intersections of the lines, aiming to control territory by surrounding empty spaces and capturing their opponent's stones. The rules are straightforward, yet the depth of strategy involved is immense, making it a game that can be learned in minutes but mastered over a lifetime. What truly sets Go apart is its philosophical underpinnings, deeply connected to Chinese thought and culture. The game is often seen as a reflection of balance and harmony, mirroring the principles of yin and yang. Practitioners of Go believe it teaches patience, foresight, and adaptability lessons that extend far beyond the board. Historically, Go was not just a pastime but a revered art form, often associated with scholars and nobility. It was considered a mark of intellectual prowess, and many ancient Chinese texts and poems reference the game as a metaphor for life and strategy. Even today, Go holds a special place in East Asian culture, where it is played competitively and studied for its rich complexity. Its enduring popularity is a testament to its timeless appeal and the profound lessons it imparts. As we close this exploration of ancient games, it's clear that Go stands as a remarkable example of how games can transcend their time, offering not just entertainment but a window into the philosophies and values of the societies that created them. As we bring this journey through history to a close, it's incredible to see just how much these ancient games reveal about the societies that created them. From the strategic depth of Go in China to the spiritual undertones of Senet in Egypt, each game offers a unique glimpse into the values, beliefs, and daily lives of people who lived thousands of years ago. These games weren't just forms of entertainment, they were tools for teaching, ways to connect with the divine, and even reflections of philosophical ideas. The diversity of these games highlights the creativity and ingenuity of ancient cultures, reminding us that play has always been a universal language. So, which of these forgotten games fascinated you the most? Was it the tactical brilliance of Hnefatafl, the ritual significance of the Mesoamerican ball game, or perhaps the enduring legacy of Go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's hidden treasures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. There are countless more mysteries from the past waiting to be uncovered, and we'd love for you to join us on the next adventure. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring.